Here's a number that should stop you cold. Over 400,000 Toyota RAV4s were sold in the United States last year alone, making it the best-selling passenger vehicle in the entire country. Not just the best-selling SUV, the best-selling vehicle, period. And yet, buried inside owner forums, NHTSA complaint databases, and consumer report surveys, there is a pattern of specific, recurring issues that Toyota's marketing department would very much prefer you never find out about before you sign on the dotted line. We're not talking about minor inconveniences. We're talking about problems that have cost some owners thousands of dollars, caused others to lose confidence in a vehicle they thought was bulletproof, and in a few cases, created legitimate safety concerns that were only addressed after enough people complained loudly enough. So, before you walk into that dealership, before you put down that deposit on a 2025 or 2026 RAV4, and especially before you assume that the Toyota badge alone is your guarantee of trouble-free ownership, you need to hear what we're about to cover, because the RAV4's reputation is real, but it's not the whole story. Let's start with the issue that has probably generated more raw frustration among RAV4 owners than anything else, and that's the multimedia infotainment system. For the 2024 and 2025 model years, Toyota rolled out its new Arene-based infotainment architecture with over-the-air update capability, a larger 12.3-inch screen, and a more natural voice assistant. On paper, it sounds like exactly what people were asking for after years of Toyota being criticized for falling behind on in-car tech. The reality in the real world has been considerably messier. Owner complaints logged with NHTSA and across Toyota owner communities describe screens that freeze mid-drive, Bluetooth connections that drop and refuse to reconnect, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto that disconnects spontaneously, sometimes while actively navigating, and a voice assistant that mishears commands so frequently that many owners have simply stopped using it entirely. Toyota has pushed software updates that address some of these bugs. And to be fair, the situation has improved compared to the earliest production units. But here's what you need to understand. If you buy a RAV4 today, you are, in a very real sense, beta testing software on a vehicle that costs you approximately $32,000 to $45,000, depending on trim. Some owners report their units are completely stable. Others are still dealing with recurring issues. The difference often comes down to which production run your vehicle came from, and there's no easy way to check that on the lot. The smart move, and something most salespeople will never volunteer, is to ask specifically which software version is installed, whether it's received the latest OTA patch, and to spend real time with the infotainment during your test drive before committing. Now here's where it gets more serious, and this is the issue that concerns us most from a safety standpoint. The Toyota RAV4, across multiple model years, including 2019 through 2023, accumulated a notable volume of NHTSA complaints related to unintended acceleration and hesitation events, particularly in the hybrid variants. To be absolutely clear, Toyota has not issued a formal recall on most of these complaints, and many of the incidents are disputed. But the volume and consistency of the pattern is hard to ignore. Owners describe a momentary lag when pressing the accelerator from a stop, occasionally followed by a surge. Others describe the opposite, pressing the accelerator and experiencing a brief hesitation before power delivery, which in certain merging or overtaking situations can feel genuinely dangerous. The 2026 RAV4, which Toyota has now made exclusively hybrid or plug-in hybrid across the entire lineup, eliminating the base gasoline engine entirely, uses a more refined version of the same hybrid architecture. Toyota engineers have stated the calibration has been improved. But if you are cross-shopping the 2026 RAV4 against its predecessor or against a lightly used 2022 or 2023 model, this is something you should specifically probe during your test drive. Find a highway on-ramp, a quick merge, and a steep hill, and pay close attention to how the powertrain responds. Don't just drive it around a parking lot and call it a day. There's also a rust and corrosion issue that disproportionately affects RAV4 owners in the northern United States and Canada. And it's one that Toyota has handled in a way that many owners found deeply unsatisfying. Reports of premature rust forming on the rear suspension components, specifically the rear trailing arms, began surfacing from RAV4 owners in Salt Belt states as early as 2019 and 2020 model years. Toyota extended corrosion protection on certain components and offered inspection programs in response. But many owners felt the outreach was inadequate and that Toyota was slow to proactively notify customers. If you live anywhere that uses road salt, think Michigan, Minnesota, New York, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, and you're looking at a used RAV4 or even a newer one that's been through a few winters, a thorough undercarriage inspection by an independent mechanic before purchase is not optional. A few $100s for that inspection could save you from discovering thousands of dollars in suspension work 18 months down the road. And then there's the elephant in the room for the 2026 model specifically, the price. Toyota's decision to go all hybrid all the time is a bold move, and honestly, from an efficiency standpoint, it's arguably the right move. The standard hybrid puts out 219 to 227 horsepower depending on drivetrain configuration. The plug-in hybrid jumps to 302 horsepower with a 0 to 60 time of approximately 5.8 seconds. And fuel economy on the standard hybrid runs between 40 and 45 mpg combined. Those are genuinely impressive numbers. But the base hybrid now starts at approximately $32,000, which is a meaningful jump from where the RAV4 was just 2 model years ago. And the top-tier GR Sport plug-in hybrid can push past $51,000 when fully loaded. At that price point, you're no longer competing with the Mazda CX-5 or the Honda CR-V. You're competing with the Lexus NX, which, not coincidentally, Consumer Reports currently ranks as one of the most reliable compact luxury SUVs you can buy, with an interior that makes the RAV4's cabin feel distinctly mainstream by comparison. So here's where we land, and this is the part Toyota really doesn't want you thinking about too carefully. The RAV4 is still a very good vehicle. Its hybrid system warranty, 8 years or 100,000 miles on the system, 10 years or 150,000 miles on the battery, is genuinely confidence-inspiring. Its all-wheel drive system, particularly in the hybrid variants, uses a separate rear electric motor for instant torque distribution in a way that genuinely outperforms most traditional mechanical AWD systems in snow and on unpaved surfaces. Consumer Reports has given it above-average reliability scores. All of that is real, but the key word is above average, not flawless, not immune to problems, not just buy it and never think about it again. The RAV4 of 2026 is a more complex, more expensive, more software-dependent vehicle than the RAV4 of even 3 years ago. And with that complexity comes a new set of considerations that the old reputation, built on simpler, more analog hardware, doesn't fully account for. Now, if you're weighing the RAV4 against something that's been quietly eating its lunch in reliability rankings, something whose owner satisfaction scores have been climbing so steadily that it's starting to make even Toyota loyalists do a double take, well, that's a conversation we need to have in a separate video. Drop in the comments, are you still buying the RAV4, or has something made you reconsider?